Shout out Coryxkenshin. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Go get your snacks.
I just skirted off in your world.
Let's talk about Bryce. Bryce was this college student. He went off to college and he's dating this girl named Kim. Things started to get a little odd about Bryce though. He started to drink a lot. He started to take this specific drug because it made him feel some type of way so that he can stay up and I guess focus on studying. He all of a sudden gave his friend Sean his personal expensive items. Out of the blue, out of nowhere. Sean was like, "You sure? Like, this is expensive." He said, "Yeah, of course, just take it." In front of Sean's eyes, Bryce then pulled out his phone, texted his girlfriend Kim, and said, "Yeah, I broke up with Kim." He's acting so strange right now, and Sean is like, "What the hell? Let me get in touch with his mom." When Sean get on the phone with Bryce's mom, he tells her, "Your son is acting strange. Drug use, alcohol, giving me his personal things." She didn't have no idea that all of this was going on. She was shocked. So when Sean get off the phone with Bryce's mother, just when she was about to call Bryce, Bryce calls her. But it was not Bryce, it was Kim. When she answered, she said, "Your son is acting so strange that I took his keys. I don't want him to drive." I can only imagine the look on her face because she just got the same thing from Sean literally seconds ago. She says, "You know what? Put Bryce on the phone." The mom asks Bryce, "What's going on? Anything okay?" When Bryce answers the phone, he sounds completely normal. Then Bryce says this, "Mom, I broke up with her. It was a pretty messy breakup. That's why she's acting like this. That's why she think I'm acting strange. She took my keys. I just want to go home to my apartment. Can you tell her to give me my keys?" The mom then had a gut feeling that something is really not right. So she said, "You know what? It's probably best if you just stay here. I'm gonna go fly out there to you and we're gonna just see what's going on out there." Bryce said, "No, Mom. I have something to talk to you about. And until I talk to you about it, I don't want you coming here at all."
All right, what do you do if your friend is starting to become distant?
People are acting really freaking weird around me.
Pushing friends away, they're pushing family away.
The mom then gives the phone to her husband, which is Bryce's dad. Bryce's dad then gets the phone and said, "Hey, what's going on? We really need to know." Bryce said, "I just broke up with my girl. We had a little messy breakup. Can you just tell her to give me my keys? That's all I need. I want to go back to my apartment." The mom then gets the phone again, gave the phone to Kim and said, "You know what? Can you just give the keys to my son?" Kim gives Bryce the keys. Bryce takes the keys and he leaves. Ten hours later, the insurance company calls the mom. This big accident then happened, which was the car that Bryce was driving in. She already thought in the back of her head, Bryce should be at his apartment. Why he's not there? The mom calls Bryce. Bryce doesn't answer. Calls Sean. Sean answers and says, "Yeah, can you put Bryce on the phone?" He said, "Bryce isn't here. He didn't even come home last night." Hold up. So when I told Kim to give Bryce the keys, when he got the keys and he left, he didn't even go home that night? He did not. The mom wanted to know where her son was, of course, because she's getting a little bit worried. So she looked at his bank statements to see where he last purchased something at. It was at this auto repair place shop. So she goes here and she asks one of the workers, "Yeah, have you seen this redhead kid?" They said, "Yeah, he ran out of gas, so we gave him some gas and he left." "Do you know where he went exactly by any chance?" They said, "No." But the worker said, "We can check at this rest area where you park your car and you can just rest for a little while to take a little break." They got relieved. They said, "Yes, please." This worker goes to this rest place, drives there 30 minutes away or something like that, and he sees Bryce. He's not asleep, he don't look tired, he just got his hands on his steering wheel staring at nothing. So this worker looking at him and then just goes to this car, knocks on the window. Bryce rolls down his window and say, "You know your parents are worried about you." The worker calls the mom and say, "Yeah, Bryce is right here at this rest area. Here you go." The mom is like, "What the hell are you doing?" Bryce is like, "I'm not doing nothing. I'm just sitting here." He didn't really have an answer on why he's doing what he's doing. The mom tells him, "Make sure your gas is filled and just please head back home." He said, "I will do, Mom. Thank you." Hung up, gave it to the worker. The worker looks at him and tells the mom, "Yeah, it looks like he's leaving. I'm going to head out." The mom said, "Thank you." But as this worker was leaving, he kind of turned back. And it kind of looked like Bryce started to do the same thing again when he arrived. Hands on the steering wheel, just parked at this area, looking out into nowhere, just staring. The worker then tell himself, "We just talked to his mom. He said he was gonna go home. I'm sure that's what he's gonna do. Now, this is where the trip is located, and this is how long it's gonna take him to get to his parents' home. So 3 hours passed by since it's that long of a drive. He didn't make it back yet. Around this time, it's like 3:30 p.m. They call Bryce. Bryce don't answer. The parents was hoping that he's in this traffic jam. That's why he haven't made it back yet. But several hours were passed. Bryce still hasn't made it back yet. The parents had this gut feeling, and it just reported him missing. When the police got involved in this, they called AT&T, his cellular device company, to ping his location. When the police looked at it, everybody was still shocked because it was still around that same area, that rest area, where he would just sit and look still and be a little awkward in. It was still in that area, so he really haven't left. So they drive to the location where this phone is pinged, which is at this hotel area. When they made it here, it's the car that Bryce is in, and he's just staring once again in his car, doing absolutely nothing. The police goes up to his car and they said, when we talked to Bryce, he act normal. Nothing was odd about him at all. We even made him get out the car to make him pass some tests. He passed all of them. He went as far as saying, you know what, if y'all want to search my car, y'all can search my car. The police searched the car, they didn't find nothing, and they searched the car really good. And they asked him, so what are you doing here? You know your parents are worried about you. He said, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just sitting here, and I'm gonna plan to go home soon. The officers, one of them said, you know, you really need to go home. Like, seriously, you need to go home. But first, call your mom and let them know you're okay. But this is where it got a little odd at, and this is where it got a little strange at, because when the police told him, you need to call your mom to let them know you're okay, the police noticed that he didn't really want to. His body language, the way he looked, everything just changed all of a sudden. And they noticed it. They asked him once again, Bryce, you have to call your mom. Bryce really did not want to. Bryce finally picks his phone up, calls his mom. The police said, give me your phone. Grabs the phone and said, hey, your son, he's okay. There's nothing wrong about the situation your son is going in. He's totally fine. He's just sitting here, and he said he's gonna go home soon. You need to talk to your son and figure out what's going on. Officer hands him back the phone. While the mom and the son was on the phone, eventually Bryce said, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll be home in a few hours. So now once again the parents are waiting for their son to arrive home. Now y'all know that worker that Bryce stopped by when he needed gas and he wanted to go to the rest area to check on Bryce? Him, that worker? Well, he ended up talking to the mom to make sure Bryce made it home yet. He didn't make it home yet. So what he decided to do, it was now late at night, he decided to go back to this same area. Remember, Bryce already talked to the cops, said he was gonna be back home. It's been hours on hours now. This area Bryce should not even be nowhere near no more. So the worker decides to go back in this area just to check to see if Bryce still here. And in this parking lot, he sees the same Toyota car with Bryce inside of it, staring out into the front of his car, just looking. The worker says, you know what, Bryce, I'm gonna watch you leave. I'm not leaving, I'm gonna watch you leave. And I'm gonna follow you on this road. Bryce said, okay, fine. They drive off. The worker is following Bryce. The worker follows Bryce for an hour. At this point, this worker wanna make sure this guy is on his way home. So once they get an hour in, he waves to Bryce and say, heading back. Make it home safe. The mom calls Bryce. Bryce answered the phone. Hello? The mom says, you're gonna give me landmarks on where you at as you're driving, so I know that you're actually driving home. But Bryce would say, oh, I can't see. It's dark. It's kind of hard to see. Can you tell us something? Is there anything out there? Signs? What? Nothing? Nothing. Didn't give him no information at all. 2 hours in, meaning Bryce should have been home by now, but he's not. He tell his parents, I am too tired. I need to pull over to sleep. You know, obviously it's nothing really the parents can do at this point. So they tell him, as soon as you wake up, you need to call us. He said, no problem. And once they hang up, things turn left. It became a nightmare for these parents. At around 2 a.m., the parents get this knock at the door and they was relieved. Bryce! No, it's the police. Asking them, hey, do y'all own this white Toyota? And they knew that was the car that Bryce was driving in, which it was. Yeah, this car was at the bottom of this hill and we found 2 drops of blood in there, but it's no indication that no one was even there at all. Bryce was gone. He wasn't at his car. Where is he? He had a wallet, a duffel bag right outside the car of this crash scene, and inside was his laptop and his phone. Everything was still there but Bryce.
It has been missing since the end of last summer. Bryce Ras.v disappeared under bizarre circumstances last fall. To this day, day, it is still a mystery.
And what the investigators and the police told the parents was this a failed attempt of Bryce trying to unalive himself. Mind you, school just started.
Former Naperville man attending college in California.
College for him. He was happy. He was enjoying life. What could have happened within these 2 weeks for him to want to do this? And that's when the parents thought to themselves, was probably hiding something, because what did he mean when he said he had a lot to talk about? And of course, they looked everywhere for this guy. Days and days. Helicopters, dogs, people scavenging the area. They put divers in the lake. They did everything they can do to try to find him, but they could not.
I am Bryce Laspisa's mom.
Some days are better than others.
The bloodhound dogs see that the dogs found this scent, and they will follow this scent around rivers, on this small little bridge, and it ended off at this truck stop.
For the most part, truck stops are pretty safe places. But not always, as I have recently found out.
They did it with another dog to see if this was really his trail, and it was, because this dog also followed the same scent in the same exact path. A lot of people believe that he just vanished out of nowhere with some truck stopper person. Now, I told y'all about these truck drivers, but that's really not the point of this story right now. I don't know. A lot of people also think what could have happened is, the drug use, the alcohol use could explain his behavior on why he was doing what he was doing, but that's not the point here. I want to know how he just vanished. But it's almost like the reasons he was sitting in them parking lots for hours and hours just staring off, almost was like he was plotting something the whole time for this to happen, to the crash, to him knowing that people would be looking for him. We would never know. This is a strange mystery. It really is. Do y'all think his death on purpose? Or trucks? Remember I said I was going to get into the trucks? Truck drivers? There is a whole deep and dark side behind truck drivers. I hope that this kid did not go through this, but let's talk about it. But I don't know though. I think it's something behind them trucks. Do you?
Definitely.
I feel like something definitely going on between those trucks. Alright, so what we about to do, we about to go to the truck stop. And we just about to peep some stuff out. It was his idea.
So you gonna blame it on me?
It was his idea if we died. See, that's all the trucks here. Because we imagining, because like, people stop here to go to the restroom and everything like that. And what if just somebody get grabbed and they just take them right in the back of these trucks back here and just go?
Told officers that she'd been kidnapped and assaulted, but she'd managed to escape.
See that man in that truck right now? What if he's trying to kidnap us? People gonna think we do it. Yeah, apparently this is where like truckers go to take a break at. Like right over there. So we in the bathroom. He's taking a piss over there. Wait, what does this mirror say?
It says call for blue.
Talk to you later. So we really didn't find nothing interesting here, so we're gonna go. But really though, imagine a group of girls just walking and some creepy truck drivers take them. Like, who's this man right here? What is he doing walking here? Yeah, that guy is sus. I ain't gonna lie. Like, what is he doing? You think he a truck driver?
I don't know. Yeah, he was over there.
Dude, he look our age though. No, he walking in the back there. See, he walking in the back there.
He just made a circle.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy doing. I'm gonna be honest.
And inside them big trucks, they got rooms, like a little bed and stuff.
This is the one that's got the triple bunks in it. They have literally a foot, the back bunk and the front bunk. So this is what it looks like up above.
Oh my man, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and look how dark it is over there.
Yeah, it's pitch black. Like, imagine them seeing some beautiful, pretty girls, and it's just like, oh, that's the girl I want to take. Just like that man that I did a story off of. He shaved his hair, his beard, and everything. He just took that little girl and kept her under the bed.
That's all you gotta do.
Aaron, shut your thing off.
Worry about freaking getting murdered.
My bad. I need to put my seatbelt on too. I'm sorry. You you said they got beds and stuff back there, so that's even much crazier.
Yeah, it's like a little room. I'm sure you can lock it.
All doors locked.
We thought of this randomly, by the way. This is not really even supposed to be the video. Alright, y'all. We just caught a flat.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. We
Dude,
just caught a
look
flat.
at that. Oh my god.
And I kid you not, we next to a cemetery.
That's bad.
Let's show them the cemetery real quick. Real quick.
You wanna go show them a cemetery?
Yeah, bro. We got a flat next to a graveyard. I cannot make this up.
We walking over here and we going straight back.
I don't want to find no cult here. Oh my gosh. Yo, we next to a graveyard.
Alright,
Come on, let's go. Yeah, come on, let's go. Look, there's trees everywhere. Like, what type? I don't know. I don't even know. Long story short, we did fix the problem. Luckily, I'll explain that later, but there's something I do want to tell you. So you know how we was in a cemetery? There's these two girls. They went to this like graveyard place and they like smelled something burning and they didn't know what it was. And then they see this man and then they started running for their life. And this man started chasing them, so they got in the car and they left. Later that day, a news report. This is a true story. Later that day,
I'm gonna put the seatbelt on, alright?
put the seatbelt on. Oh, my bad. I still don't got mine on. So later that day, they get a news of a dead body and that it was burnt and everything like that. So if they would have got caught, the man would have killed two girls that was at this graveyard. One of the daughters started crying and break down to their mom about how they was there and what happened and everything like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Now, I made it back home, safe and sound, but why did the tire look like somebody tried to slice it? It didn't look like your typical average flat tire. Maybe when we was leaving to check around the truck place, that guy who was walking past our car when we was getting in the car, maybe he had something to do with it. Because the tire kept saying low pressure, and it was never saying that at first until we parked to the truck place. Thank God we was not females.